Hey everybody, welcome back. This spotlight I'm going to take a look at Mystcraft. That's the one where you get to create books to have different worlds and things you can do whatever you want in. For example, I'm in a Mist world at the moment. It's not my what they call overworld, which would be your original world. This is, you'll notice, a single biome and it's flat. And I created this again in Mist World, and if you watch my previous spotlight on how to create peat, from Bog Earth. That's that setup right there. So let's take a look at the components that we have. You'll notice at my taskbar I've spawned in some stuff once again. I'm not really here so much to show you how to make stuff, but the practical use of it and how to get through it. I'll show you a recipe if it seems a little funky, that sort of thing. Let's take a look. This is what's called a writing table. I know it kind of looks like a bookshelf with a workbench on the top, and it's 2 blocks. So that's a little different. We're going to use that to make our worlds in. This is a very important item. It's called a link modifier. That's what the writing desk looks like, by the way. If you find it in your NEI, you'll notice there's a writing desk here, and then there's a writing desk here. Use this one. This one, I think you have to put 2 parts down. I never use that. I always use this one. Here's the different books that we have. So continuing through, I guess I may as well leave NEI up for this. The first thing you need to do is make sure you always take a linking book with you. That's the only way you can get out of the worlds. Well, there's one other exception, and I'll definitely show it to you. But yeah, you want to make sure you always carry one of these with you. You notice I have mine here, and you'll notice mine glows a little bit as a shimmer, depending on your video there. Because I've modified mine, and that's what I'm going to recommend that you do for simplicity's sake as well. Now, depending on what kind of world you're playing in, what kind of server, I run a server just for myself and my kids and the family, that sort of thing. If you're playing on a public server, obviously you may be somewhat limited with like the link modifier. Let's take a look. Yeah, you can make it. It's very expensive. But it's definitely worth it, and I'll show you why here in 2 seconds. Sorry, sidetracking again. So always linking book. First and foremost, always have one with you at all times. All right, so out of the way. Then we have descriptive books. These are all blanks. I have not written anything in them. I wanted to show you that. On the NEI, it's all grouped up down here. So we have our book stands. We have the crystals. Another book stand that's a lectern, but it's another book stand. Link modifier, the book receptacles. So let's get into it. All right, so in Mistworld, like I said, you create your own worlds. And to do that, you come to the writing table, and you would place a blank book up here and what's called a notebook here. And the very first time that you create a descriptive book, like if I wanted to right now with this blank book, I can take this, and I'll go ahead and do it. I'll set it on the bookshelf. You can also do it from from standing, but then the book hits the ground. I'll do it, and then I'll show you that. All right, so book 9, never been here. Let me click this area, just like the game Myst, if you've ever played it, and we'll go to this world and see what we get. I have no idea. It's totally random. I will tell you, I've turned off all instabilities. Okay, now instabilities. So when the world is made, again, I have no idea what's made in this world. We'll just kind of take a look around. I'm not going to get too far. And you know what? Let's turn on creative mode here real quick. And let's just kind of fly, see if we can see anything looks unusual. Okay, so nothing really too out of the norm for the first time out of the gate on this. Now, we haven't traveled very far, understandably. All right, so getting to the points I wanted to cover with you. Okay, first off, worlds generated. You're always going to get what's called instabilities unless you make the world yourself. Instabilities can be anything like maybe a hunger sickness or a poison. Even more devastating if you start making books with stuff, you can have meteors fall from the sky, uh, and things of that nature. So why do I have mine turned off? Well, again, I told you I play with my kids. It's just a family server. And my kids like the really funky, wacky worlds and things like this. And they're not too fond of instabilities. So, I just have them turned off. That way we get all the funky worlds with none of the pain, which totally goes against the idea of the mod. But, well, welcome to my world. All right, so again, you'll notice when we came here, we do not have the book in my inventory. You see it? It's not there. And we do not have a way to get back, which is why I was telling you always take a linking book. Now, if I was to use this linking book right here that I have not modified, it will take me back, but it'll drop the book right here on the ground. Let me go ahead and show you. Okay. Go do this. You'll notice it's gone from my inventory. I'm back to where I was. Here's that book I told you that when we went into. So when these drop, they can take a little damage, okay? That's why you want the book stands. So let me pick it up. I'm gonna grab my little corner there. Let's walk this precious little book over here and take a look. And now he's on a book stand, so he's not gonna fall if I go back into it. So let's take a look at the book itself now. You remember before, we did not have, you know what, let me turn my music down. I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't getting too loud. I should have done that at the start and totally forgot about it. So, taking a look at my book right here, we did not have these before. First time we went into it was randomly generated. And let's see what we got here. It's a single biome. Well, that's why we couldn't see anything else. It was a forest biome. Yay. It had mine shafts in it. It had standard lighting, so nothing deviant there. Slow weather, so it wouldn't rain very often. Or when it does, it lasts forever, which it always seems to anyway. Eternal day, no night. It's always going to be daytime. Standard terrain, so nothing funky there. All right, well, so that's why the world looked pretty normal out of the gate. That's kind of unusual for a book, created randomly. Looked like the rain was on there for a second. All right, so now the next thing, let me talk about how to create your own worlds. All right, so we can do one of a couple different things. Let me just spawn in a notebook here real quick, and let me pick up this book, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is the hard way to do it, and I'll show you the way that I'll do it, just again, for the easy way. Remember, this is not a Let's Play. I'm showing you an idea of how the mod works, and then you can cheat or not cheat, whatever your whim may be. So brand new notebook, never been used. I put this up here. You'll notice it's completely empty. If I take a world that has some symbols on it, remember that's the one we just went to, and I plop it up here, not only do they show up here, but all of these got filtered in, and all the ones that were in here are now in this notebook. So, the idea is you can create a bunch of random worlds, pop them up here, and learn new ones. Just like, if you played like, oh my gosh, I totally drew a blank on it. The equivalent exchange. Remember the transmutation tablets, if you've ever done that, how you had to teach it things? Same basic principle here. You basically, you put the new books up and it learns any new symbols, and you get a whole bank of symbols. All right, now I'm going to chuck this over here and get rid of that. I'll hang on to World 9, whatever. But what I wanted to show you was how to get a notebook with all the symbols so you can play around with it and get an idea. All right, so you can't just pull it from NEI and spawn it that way and have it work, okay? It'll still be a blank book. But if I come up here to creative mode, turn this on, okay, and we're going to go ahead and just type in notebook, if we spell notebook. And if I pull one from here, and now I turn off creative mode, and I go back into my bookshelf. Now this is the one I spawned through creative, not through NEI, and I put it here. You'll notice you get a complete book with every possible glyph in it. And that's what I like to do when I'm creating it just for the family, that sort of thing. So I can make a different world. for each of my kids to play in and for myself and things of that nature. And if I really feel like I want to cheat, I can do a lot of modifiers to really, go crazy there. And I'll show you just for the fun of it. So what I'll do is when I'm creating a world for my kids is I'll grab the notebook here and I'll grab a book and I'll say, okay, well, just, this is your world. What do you want to do? So, let's say we're making it for my brother here, Wallace and Tonka world. Okay. And I'll start off on the second tab, which is the biome controller. And he gets to decide, all right, does he want a checkerboard biome? Checkerboard biomes, you only get 2 of them, and they're just that. They're checkerboarded all through it. It's really kind of weird. Then we have huge biomes, duh. Large biomes, a little bit smaller and huge. Medium, native biome controllers, single biome, and I'm not going to run through everything here. I'm just giving you an idea. Small biomes, and then tiny biomes. All right, so let's do a. You know what? I'm going to do small so that maybe we can fly around a little bit and see. And then I'll come up here to the actual biomes, and we'll pick the ones that we want. I'll be like, hey, do you want birch? Yeah. Do you want desert? Yeah. Do you want desert hills? Sure. And again, I'm going to try and speed this up. Marshes. Hell, by the way, it looks just like plains, but it allows ghasts and pigmen to be in it. Jungles, mountain. Anyway, so you get the idea here. All right, he clicks a bunch of biomes. Then we do lighting, sky, terrain features, terrain generation, the time manipulations, weather, and all of that. So let me plunk some in here real quick. Okay. Oh, by the way, with bright, monsters will spawn in it just means you don't need torches. So even if you're underground, everything is always lit up. But it's really technically always nighttime, but you can always see. So monsters will be out there even in the daytime. Okay. I'll just do standard lighting for the moment. The sky, you can get some nice funky sky colors here. Let's do green fog. Let's do I know. I'm taking way too long, aren't I? Now, anything I don't pick, it's going to go ahead and put in. Oh, okay, let's take a look at the terrain features. I'm going to add crystals because those don't normally spawn, right? So we can take a look at those. I'm not going to worry about dungeons and stuff because I'm not going to play. We got the glowstone. I'll put that in just because it's kind of cool. We'll also throw in huge trees. Let's also put in wood tendrils so you can see those. And here's the one I did want to talk about, star fissure. Always, if you're doing this way, always put one in, especially if you got kids or whatever. If they forget their book, you can get them back out. The star fissure basically creates a giant ravine that if you jump into, takes you back to the overworld. All right, so let's pop a few more things in here. I'm just going to do like some normal stuff here. All right, the last one here is the world modifiers. Let's take a moment to look at. Normally, these are going to create instabilities in your world. Instabilities, again, can be the kiss of the death of the world, or it can just be, some really, fun things to deal with. Again, I have it turned off. You can turn it off by going into where the location of your server is, and then go into the mods folder, and then there's going to be a Mystcraft world config file under there, under the configs, and you just edit that, change the true to a false. If you have an inkling what I'm talking about, you're on your own. You're good to go. If you're like, what the heck, probably shouldn't worry about it anyway. All right, so let's take a look. I am going to do... I'm not going to do meteors because they'll be falling all over the place. Skyland, there's no bottom. I hate those. They're fun, but I'm always falling to my death. All right, so you know what I'm going to do on this one? I'm going to put in, like, 6 dense ore ones. Now, if I hadn't turned off instabilities, that totally would be a kiss of death. You get this creeping stuff that would just spread. and you wouldn't have very long to live in the world at all. Okay. All right. So this is my book with all the different features. So let's take this, and I'm going to plunk this on here. We'll use this book stand this time. Okay. Now, before we go there, let me talk about the link modifier thing. Okay, here's the link modifier. Again, I showed it to you in the NEI and even showed you the pattern for it. If we right click on it, if we take our, oh, you know what? I got rid of my linking book. Remember, I left in that other world. And that's if you don't modify it, they will stay wherever you go. So let's take this linking book and we put it right here. And we have just, the 5 buttons. Interlinkings, normally if I click on my linking book, I cannot travel within my own world, only from other worlds back to the overworld. Interlinking will let you travel within your own world. So if you go to explore and you want to come back, interlinking will do that. Disarm, I never use that. Basically, it takes away all their stuff. It's kind of like for setting up traps. You can see why I don't do it. Generate platform, that puts a stone platform below your feet if you need one, if there's not one there. So I always do that for safety. Following, this is the main feature. When I click this book will now follow me when I do the jumps. Remember the last time I jumped from that other world? It left my my linking book behind. I just had to spawn in for a second. Following books always let you travel with it. It always follows you around, which is nice. And then maintain momentum. That's basically like, let's say if you were jumping through, you'd have the same momentum coming out kind of thing. So I don't worry about that. All right, let's take this. We'll put this down here. So that's that. Let's go into this world that we just made with all our fun shapes. Now, the first time you create a world, you see how it's kind of black? It's taking a minute. The world is loading up, okay? I have known it to crash when I do this, but just because you see this doesn't mean that there's a problem. It's taken forever to load up. And here we are. All right, so you remember I picked the green sky. Oh, gotta dig my way out here, out of my tree. Oh, am I in a hole? Yeah, I was in the hole, I guess. Oh, no, I was stuck in the branches. All right, so, all right, take a look. Obviously, the world looks a little different. First off, you'll notice we have some biomes nice close together. We have the tall trees. Remember, I picked tall trees. There's my glowstone down there. Again, let's turn on, let's turn on creative mode, just to fly here a little bit, show you around. This blue stuff, this is the crystals that we spawned in. This big ravine, take a look down there. Yes, there's lava down there because it spilled into it, but this is that star fissure I was talking about. See if I come down here and take a look. Here's our, oh, by the way, you'll notice all the ores. Remember, we threw, 6 dense ores on there? All right, so if I drop through this will take me to the overworld. You see how it's just past? And it's only in this location. If I dug through, my bedrock and stuff somewhere else, it's not going to be. It's just in this one. But you'll notice it's right near the spawn point. So again, the dense ores, I've got on creative mode because, again, this is just showing you on the video. But I'll show you why this is fun for young kids if they've been playing and they've been used to, like, oh my gosh, I can never find anything. Create one of these worlds for them because, you don't care if they have materials. They prefer to spawn stuff in anyway. They never build their own stuff. I must have hit a kind of a lame section. Did you see the... Here, let's go this way. You got ores everywhere. See, look, there's some gold. That's sulfur, I believe. I don't know if you saw the diamonds out on the edge. But you'll notice there's just, they're just going to be flooded with ores. The first time I did this for my kids, you would have thought I just threw them into a candy store for a free-for-all. It was pretty funny. So that they've got tons and tons of stuff that they can mine. They'll be real happy. They'll be the kings of Minecraft. Obviously, you don't want to do that. if you're playing with adults, I mean, you may as well just spawn in the stuff. Or, if you've had a long day and you're like, you know what, I want to treat myself. Well, there you go. Again, I can do this because I have instabilities turned off. If I did not have instabilities turned off and I did that, obviously this world would have problems and wouldn't last very long. All right, so here's the wood tendrils. Let's see what else we can see before we bolt out of this. Look, here's our alpine trees. Ooh, here's our autumn trees. So, okay, you get a real good idea real fast of the fun stuff to do in the world. We'll use this linking book. It takes me back, and you'll notice still down here on my action bar. Let me turn my creative mode back off. And there we go. Now, the last thing I want to cover on Mist World, because this is the basics, are the blue crystals. All right, so the blue crystals you can use to make gates, as opposed to having to use the books to your world. Now, you're still going to use the books, but here, I'll show you. Oh, I've gone and made it so big. I'm having trouble here. Hang on. What I'm trying to show you is with the portals that you're going to make, unlike nether portals that have to be a certain shape, Mystcraft, sorry, the portals can be any size, any shape, so long as it's a closed off area. So if you want to try and make it round or triangle, knock yourself out, they'll all work. So that's the crystals. You build it with those. Use a book receptacle. All right, you can put it anywhere. You put it on the side, put it on the bottom. Doesn't matter where you do it. Come over here. Let's grab our book. Plop it here back in our thing. Come over to the receptacle, pop it in, and you'll notice, there's the gate. Pull it out. It's gone. I could put any book in. I could trade out books. Don't worry about the color. You notice how it changed. Yes, you can put this below the ground. Remember the momentum thing we talked about in the building of the world? Here's a perfect example. When you, like if I shove the pig through here, he'll appear in that other world. All right, let's go through this gate. Now remember, we spawned up the world once. It's going to spawn a little quicker. There we go. And here we are. And this, again, should be, did I grab the right book? Then we use the wowas. Now, the only reason this might be different, let's turn on our creative and fly. The only reason I can think it might be different is I created a, I'm going to the book from another world as opposed to my overworld. Remember, overworlds are the first ones, because this world looks different, doesn't it? All right, let's turn off our creative. Let's go back. See what book I left in there. Oh, you know what? There's Wow's World. What book did I put in there? Did I put a book in? What the heck did I just do? All right. Let's try this again. Oh, there it is. No, I think I created a new world. I did. Oh, and that's why. It was a hell biome, checkerboard, the sunsets and stuff. Because I put in a blank book by accident. I wasn't paying attention. I put in a blank book, so it generated a brand new world. All right, let's try this with Wow's world. All right, let's put him in there. Let's jump through. And there we are, back into Wow's world. Didn't plan that, but perfect example of being able to switch books and things of that nature. So really, that's the main things that you need to know is the bookshelves, linking books, use the modifier if you can. Book stands, prevents them from falling. Here's the portals, things on the side, pops your book in. You can pull them out whenever you want. And really, that covers about the main details of it. Oh, here's a decay block. That's I was telling you with the instabilities. It spreads through the worlds if you create like the multiple ores like we did with Wow's world. If I had instabilities like a normal, I didn't have them turned off, this stuff would start spreading everywhere. Or I might get meteors, or for goodness sakes, I might get all of that, because that's a really broken world. Okay. All right. Well, that about covers it. Like and subscribe if you like what you got, what you've seen here. If you have any questions, if I know I covered a lot and I took a lot of time and rambled, so let me know if I didn't cover something or something was confusing. Definitely let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you later on the next spotlight. You guys enjoy Minecraft. Take care.